And welcome to Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News. I'll let you in on a little secret. This message is being pre-recorded for submission by December 19th, 2019. Okay, it's a leftover secret from last week's show. This means that my wishing you a Happy New Year goes against all my journalistic instincts. Do you remember this headline from 1948? Dewey defeats Truman? For those who don't remember, some of the newspapers, confident that Thomas Dewey would win the 1948 presidential election, went ahead and printed their headlines in advance. However, the man in the photograph holding up the paper so gleefully was none other than the actual winner, Harry S. Truman. So for me to wish everyone a Happy New Year nearly 2 weeks in advance is risky. Therefore, let me take this opportunity to wish everyone a Happy New Year on a conditional basis, depending on whether or not we all get there. Now here's the usual social media reminder. You can watch the Arlington Weekly News on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com, Arlington Weekly News, and the number 1. Also on facebook.com, Arlington Weekly News. And you can hear us on the radio on 96.7 FM WERA. Not much news when you're going 2 weeks in advance, so let's go to CBB. The Fairlington Community Center will be holding a special event that they call Paint, Build, Create. It's a free program open to the general public, and it will feature STEM-based projects for all ages and ability. What, you may ask, is a STEM-based project? Well, the word STEM is an acronym for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. However, that might sound scary to some people who just want to have fun, so they call it STEM. When you think about it, though, there are elements of each of these disciplines in a lot of entertaining activities, such as building a toothpick tower, making a marble maze, making paper airplanes, and working with kinetic sand. That sounds a lot better, doesn't it? In addition to the activities, there will be food for sale from local vendors. Attendees are encouraged to park on street in the neighborhood. That's coming up on Saturday, January 18th, from 11 o'clock a.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. at Fairlington Community Center and Park, 3308 South Stafford Street. For more information, call Laura Barragan at 703-228-3329. Now here's a CBB event for everyone. It's the annual tribute to the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. This year's program is called Prayers of a King, and it will feature live music, dance, and Dr. King's specialty, the spoken word. That's coming up on Sunday, January 19th, from 5 o'clock to 6:30 p.m. at Wakefield High School, 1325 South Dinwiddie Street. For more information, you can call Laura Barragan at 703-228-3329. Now let's take a look at seniors. Every month, the Westover Branch Library presents something they call Oddball Cinema. It's drawn from an assortment of quirky, obscure, and sometimes bizarre films that aren't intended for the kiddies. However, these movies are typically thought-provoking and mentally engaging for adults with a taste for exploration. The first show of the new year will be the award-winning independent film 10 mph from 2007. It's about two friends who purchase a Segway scooter and try to travel across the country from Seattle all the way to Boston, all at the maximum Segway speed of 10 miles per hour. That's coming up on Tuesday, January 14th, from 7 o'clock to 8:30 p.m. at the Westover Branch Library, 1644 North McKinley Road, Suite 3. Also for seniors, there's something called the 55 Plus Comedy Club. Now, the 55 Plus Comedy Club is a monthly presentation that I do before I come to the studio to produce Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News. It's not the kind of nightclub comedy club that you might imagine, but an exploration of the many different forms of comedy. These include humorous poetry, amusing short stories, funny still images, cartoons, novelty songs, film clips, TV extracts, and more. Yes, there are even jokes, with audience participation encouraged. Past presentations have included poems from Ogden Nash, clips from the Marx Brothers, Buster Keaton, Lucille Ball, along with stand-up from George Carlin, Richard Pryor, Eddie Izzard, and Hari Kondabolu. Images have come from Charles Addams, Roger Price, Who, and even internet memes. While bad language is avoided, the general rule is this: if it's funny, it goes on. Anything from Shakespeare's time right on up to the morning of the show is fair game. The next installment is coming up on Wednesday, January 15th, 2020, from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at Aurora Hills 55 Plus Center, 735 18th Street South. You don't know who Roger Price was? Then you'd better come and find out. Time for some videos. Here's something you don't see every week. Come on down, kids, come on down. It's the bestest show around. It's time for your four favorite friends, the precious prancing ponies, brought to you by the Mogroff Corporation.
Yes, it's the Mogroff Corporation, maker of Mogroff's Magic Glue Sticks. Stick with Mogroffs and Mogroffs will stick with you.
To catch up with this week's exciting new adventure, just stick around.
With the Mogroff prancing ponies, we'll sing and dance for you. We're Inky, Pinky, Blink, and Blue. We're here to show you something new, and here's the secret. What's the secret? It's no secret, it's just this. We're glad you made it too.
And now here's this week's adventure, which we like to call The Strange Smelling Building at the Edge of Town. Let's listen in.
Say, Blue, do you see that big building over there? I don't see it, but something sure smells funny.
I didn't see it either. I think my eyes were closed or something. Well, I can see it and smell it too.
What do you suppose it's for? I don't know. Why don't we go investigate?
Why should we? We might poke our eyes out. While we're at it, how come we only speak in the same fixed order?
What do you mean? I think it's the fact that it's always Inky, then Pinky, then Blink, and then Blue.
Maybe we're supposed to demonstrate the importance of taking turns. So why is taking turns so important?
Because that way, I always get to go first. Hey, that's not fair.
Hey, don't complain. Blue and I have it even worse than you. Oh, I don't mind. Say, let's try walking off that cliff over there.
That's not nice. Let's check out the funny-smelling building instead.
Can't we spend some more time on character exposition? We haven't even gotten around to the fact that I wear sunglasses. Maybe I can find out why I'm named after a color.
Hey, I'm named after a color too. Inky is not really a color.
I can't tell. I can't see through these damn shades. It probably depends on the color of ink. Could be black ink, could be red ink.
No, not red. What's wrong with red?
It might look like he's bleeding, or the sponsor is losing money.
Well, I still think Inky is a kind of color. Not like Pinky.
That's not a color, that's a finger. It all depends on where you stick it.
Let's go check out the building.
And so they all went over to inspect the strange-smelling building on the edge of town.
What does that sign say?
I don't know. I still can't see through these shades. It doesn't matter since none of us can read anyway.
It smells kind of meaty. How would you know? We only eat oats.
Hey! Oats, hay, whatever.
Look, someone's coming. Who could it be?
Maybe it's Mr. Margroff.
Let's hope so. I'm still waiting for my paycheck.
I don't think so. He's not wearing a business suit. That looks like an apron.
That looks like a cleaver.
This looks like a problem.
Ah, there you are. Welcome, Inky, Pinky, Blink, and Blue. We've been expecting you. Just follow me.
Thank goodness. I was worried for a minute there.
It must be all right. He knows our names.
I'm not so sure about this.
Did you know that Mogroff's also makes dog food? After all, Fido needs a friend too. That's why you should always look for Mogroff's meaty mongrel meals.
And now there are 2 special offers. For every 10 cans of mongrel meals, you get a special coupon for a discount on Mogroff's Magic Glue Sticks. Not only that, but for every 5 boxes of Magic Glue Sticks, you can get a special coupon for a discount on mongrel meals. That's 2 great ways to save.
Now, let's get back to the adventures of Inky, Pinky, Blink, and Blue. Inky? Pinky? Blink? Anybody? Well, it looks like that's the end of our story for today. But don't worry, kids. Every time a Mogroff pony dies, there's a new one to take its place.
Yes, Mogroff ponies are also collectibles. And every week there's a whole new set. Act fast, supplies are limited, and see how many you can get.
It's a parade of brand new friends, and it never, ever ends. And after all, they're never really gone.
'Cause Inky, Pinky, Blink, and Blue are all in Mogroff's Magic Glue and dog food.
Tune in again next week and meet our new prancing ponies. Denial, anger, bargaining, and depression.
They're just waiting for your acceptance.
So come join them for our next story, Sticking Around the River Styx. Here's something else you don't see every week.
Nothing much to do in the world. All of the time remains free. Much too much to do in the world. Nowhere that we'd rather be.
Now here's something you will hear every week, at least for a while. The instrumental section is our new theme music. The song itself is called YouTube Confession.
Days and nights go flashing by, or maybe it was nocturne with the people throwing pies. When I mess up, I fess up, that's my rule. An honest line from an honest fool. Terms of use demand original material, but doing everything myself can make the stuff inferior. I'm sorry when it's obvious that I have had to budget, but that's the way it goes with little talent and no budget. When I mess up, I fess up, that's my rule. An honest line from an honest fool. When I mess up, I fess up, that's my creed. An honest line for my online feed.
Here's something else you don't see every week.
Another break, so don't look twice when weary stubble makes you dull. Dedication grows no one dimension before my eyes, makes you all the things you thought for. I've got lots of room for more of what you will have been forever.
You know, there's either something special about a year like 2020 or there isn't. My son referred to the years between 1999 and 2010 as the uh-oh years because the middle numerals looked like a pair of letter O's. It would be great if the year 2020 came to be associated with a clarity of vision, as in 20/20 eyesight. It would be great if this clarity of vision brought about an improved understanding of our situation in regards to ourselves, the world, and each other. I suppose it would also be depressing to realize that applying this concept to the ensuing years would bring about a gradual deterioration of vision, so maybe it's best not to try to read too much into a group of numbers. Next week, we'll be back in the studio with all the survivors of the New Year's celebrations. If you've been watching, thanks for watching. If you haven't been watching, then thanks anyway. You probably deserve it for something.
For some things are all the same to me, and I like it when little bits of light remain a mystery. How much cosmic fabric would be saved if you managed to make 9 states?
Characters Inky and Pinky were performed by Gene Rossellino.